to have your Dharma, to be Tibetans, and to contribute to a common market, to an Asian Union, like a European Union. That is the long-term vision, and that is the battle, and that cannot be won by violence. Look at Europe. Germany tried to conquer all of Europe, Germany and Italy, tried to conquer Europe with fascist militarism, and they totally failed, and they were smashed completely. But then Germany did economic interconnection, and now it is the greatest power in Europe. And so China should wise up and get out of the 19th century, the colonial century of Great Britain, and get into the 20th century and behave themselves. And then they'll be happy. And Tibetans already make them happy. There's so many Chinese who have Tibetan lamas, teachers, they're learning the Dharma, they have their own kind of Buddhism, they will appreciate it in the long run very, very strongly. And finally, that brings me to my final point. His Holiness the Dalai Lama always talks about freedom to preserve the precious culture of Tibet. In the worldwide, in Tibet House New Delhi, Tibet House Frankfurt, Tibet House Mexico, Tibet House Japan, all of the different Tibet House movement have to do with preserving the culture, and they try to get the people in the country to support Tibetan communities in exile there to help them to preserve their culture, like with the wonderful center that you're building in Queens. But finally, so preserving the precious Buddhist culture, and that includes the Bumbos, Tibetan culture is so completely mainstream with the Dharma. And the Dharma means being less selfish, being more happy, being more compassionate and kind. I always like to say that the Bumbos are Buddhists. Even the non-Buddhists in Tibet are Buddhists. That's the great thing. They all want to be Buddha too. They just have a different history, a different idea what it is, but they want to be Buddha. So now coming to the preserving of culture, who is preserving it? Well, this is where the challenge is upon you. Yes, you can protest, free for Tibet, freedom, etc. But then where is your Tibetan, you young people? It's natural that you go to school in America, you go to school in Australia, you go to school in Switzerland, you speak German and English and French and all these languages. And maybe your Tibetan begins to get a little rusty, like an old Tibetan scholar like me. And you get into what His Holiness calls broken Tibetan, like he always talks about his broken English. His Holiness constantly refers to the beauty of the Tibetan language. And I learned something just this New Year, after 50 years of studying, so many things I don't know. But I really enjoyed His Holiness New Year's speech in Tibetan from Minnesota, where he gave Danshe. Danshe nambre, tashi de legi danshe yabu nambre, but geshe nanshe. Ini tashi sete. Tashi kuna sete, ini janshun semrba. Tashi sete, tombanye, ini dagme pa de yabu khoya. Ini yang degi jumsenji, ini dewa che khansa, ningshi chenpo mitso shendalia, ini mi dewa chenpo ta ningshi chenpo kya, di tashi sete dere. Ini delek sete, ini dewa sete, ini monto sete, ini dabbling in a conventional reality, improving your state of existence and gaining a better position in the world. Dewa sete, ini legba sete, ngelek sete, and that's attaining nirvana. So that means when you say hello to somebody in Tibetan, you say Tashit Delek. You're saying have a spirit of enlightenment, be wise and know about selflessness, and then have a compassionate and kindness mind, and then attain worldly happiness and get busy and attain nirvana. All of you get enlightened. That's a wonderful thing. So we just say Tashit Delek, and we're teaching the Dharma to each other. Okay? And I love that. So my final word is, you young people, study hard, go see Geshe-la, and learn your language. Some of the people who body immolated, we should always say body immolated, offered their body, never self-immolated, because then people in English think it's suicide. So body immolated. Self goes on in future life, right? All of you know about future life. You young people better not agree with the Americans that there's no future life. That would be wrong. That would be very bad. You have to keep your culture that you're here for many, many lives. And that gives you a different kind of bravery and commitment here. So therefore, you young people really learn your language. And you really learn the Dharma. And when His Holiness comes, or Sakya-Tizin, or whichever teacher, don't just go for the initiation. Go learn about selflessness, learn the shunyata. You can understand it. Don't think, oh, that's only for Geshe-la, I can't understand it. Go study your own language. Some of the immolators expressly said, preserve the language. They said freedom for Tibet, His Holiness return to Tibet, and also keep the Tibetan language. And His Holiness is always saying, and I have to agree 100%, Tibetan language is the best language still in which to study Buddha Dharma. It's by far it's better than Sanskrit, because in India there was always other religious traditions and other ideas around the languages, but in Tibet, Buddhism and the human understanding of the Dharma became the central thing, or the mainstream thing of the society. And therefore the language was refined, the philosophy was cultivated better, the meditation methods were better, the mandalas were more beautiful. And so therefore, you younger people, please keep studying your Tibetan in addition to economics and politics and whatever else you're studying in school. Okay? Thank you very much. Long live Tibet. We will win.
투제나 개방 로버트 터맨라 데네야 소시난게 탄돔디 제리 첩시 냠시바 개방 꾸샵 셴보콘라네 소시나르나 쉐이.
Thank you very much, Professor Robert Thurman, for your wonderful speech and advice, not only to the young Tibetans, but to all of us, all Tibetans. Thank you. Now I have the distinct pleasure of introducing Mr. Shen Fukong, author, commentator, democracy activist, and longtime friend of Tibet.
너무 소상모 주시리 한국대야 세세시나로 나서 드린 전부 공기 비게야 쿠란기 차례 나서야 송주시 디세제 대야 지루디 스테이스 는 공개 맵시 디슈로시스 니우대야 쿠란기 인지간래야 계제세 신고유도 이내래 개개간의 셰비네 디딕스 샘조딜레 야고 연구를 삼제 제상 개개간의 야담셰 구리체 유였어.
My dear Tibetan brothers and sisters, 사시들의
예 별이기 변다 포먼탕로 주시들레스.
Speak Chinese. Do you explain? Speak Chinese.
그런데 야게 경거래.
Okay. 今夕又有2名藏人在自焚，一位在共产党统治下的藏区，一位在印度，他们都是不到20岁的年轻人。
아니 낭자나야 질이야 녀자 아니 수수 이치기 체도야 아니 페미니게 굴리 메시낭브레스 직딩아란 수 견나기 공천당기 왕진월로 옆에 표다 디멘디네 야가나레스 코란이 니자로 로니실로 말레베 최소 순순이레스
每次听到这样的自焚悲剧，我都感到非常的难过和痛心。自焚的藏人 是对他们信仰的坚守，是表达他们对达赖喇嘛尊者的忠贞，也是他们对共产党残暴统治的抗议。
아니 차쟁기 내주 굴리 메시다야게 내주딘데 고백급이야 아니 셈나리야 심도 첨부시키게 두스 디카르레 제비는다 디카르든 거여서는 베베 수수 최대야 장배 최심 된보다 장군을 보시 달래나말이야 장배 로데 된보디 당한 신배 디카르든 거여서는 별이기 아니 견나 공전당기 원진들이야 슈두겹이 된 거여서
然而